Good morning, everybody. This is Bob Martin with rcsub.com and the Nautilus Dry Docks, and this should be Chapter 4 of the build-up of this custom Replicas 66-inch Nautilus display model. In this chapter, we're going to work on a few other features, including the operational salon iris, and going to begin with the operational propeller. At the heart of it is this small Sayama motor, and I got this off the Electronic Surplus website, Electronic Gold Mine. These are little geared motors, 12 volts, spin at about 60 RPM. Just about perfect, nice and silent. Of course, a nice small size, about ½ inch diameter, and should be a very easy install. Just notch out the bottom here. These will end up sitting in place just like this, and we'll be good to go. And really all I did for mounting is just took the cog off the motor, drilled out the propeller to accept it, and it's just going to slip fit right on there so that the propeller can be removed if necessary. So I'm going to work on a mounting block for that, and then we will get on to the fun part of the iris. Alright, here you can see the completed assembly, and really all I did is put a little bulkhead in there, some rubber CA. It's mounted flush in the back. Again, the propeller is completely removable so that we can get in there later to do the detailing and such, and it's just press fit on there. Notched out the back of both of the pieces, drops in place for a nice flush fit, and this is basically what we have. Here you can see the propeller in operation. I may add a resistor in line there just to slow it down just a hair, but certainly looks good as it is right now. Alright, I am going to take just a little bit of deviation here, and we're going to talk about the lighting, LED lighting. For some people it's a little bit intimidating. But really, once you get the hang of it, there's not too much to it. So what I'm going to recommend that you do is grab your LED lights. Now these are cool white inverted cone LEDs, and basically that means there's a flat top with an inverted cone, and that diffuses the light, so it's not a focused point. You don't need to buy inverted cone. You can also get standard LEDs and just grind the tip flat, and that does the same thing, diffuses the light. I happen to have these. I also got this from All Electric, and I love this. It's an LED tester. Uses a little 9-volt battery, and what it allows you to do is pop your LED in there, and then with the test button you can just make sure that it's functioning properly. So I test each one before I install it. Obviously it would not be good to go through the entire process and find out it was a dysfunctional LED. But again, that's from All Electric, and that is an LED tester. The other things that you're going to need obviously would be decent quality soldering iron. I love this clear liquid flux. It makes soldering really easy. Standard lead solder, and that's pretty well it. So, the last thing you need are resistors, and what you need to do is drop the voltage down from whatever operational voltage you're going to be using in your model, be it 6 volts, 9 volts, 12 volts. Mine is going to be a 12 volt system, so these are the resistors that I'm going to use. Actually, the LEDs that I bought came with these, so you know that you're going to be utilizing the correct resistors for your project. So if we take a look at each LED, you can see that there's a long leg and a short leg. Long leg is always positive, short leg is always negative. I'm going to wire up these resistors at the LED, but they can be anywhere in the circuit. I'm going to just simply wrap this around the positive leg, and you can see it kind of hanging out there. I've got one set up in my holder here already, and what I'm going to do is just add a drop of flux, grab my soldering iron, wet it a little bit, One quick touch, and it's connected. Now that it's connected, I'm going to trim off the legs that we don't need. Throw this back in here. I've got twisted wire here. This is really overkill for this project, as the LED lights are extremely low current. But it makes it a little easier to grab onto. Strip the ends, give them a little twist. Again, positive to positive. A little bit of flux. Hit it with soldering. And you do the same for the negative. Once you have it, I'm going to pull these back, and you're going to add some heat shrink tubing to make sure that we don't get any short circuits. And what you're going to end up with is this. So I've hooked up my circuit to a 12 volt lead acid battery. You can see I've got my positive terminal, my negative terminal, and now all I'm going to do is slip my heat shrink over the top, give that a little bit of heat, and this LED here is complete. All I've got to do is do that about 30 more times, and I'll have the lighting system done for the model. So that's the LED system. Can be, like I said, intimidating, can be confusing. It doesn't have to be. There's a ton of resources on the internet that'll help you calculate proper resistors for your LEDs. There's lots of different variations in LEDs that you can get. But if it is still confusing, I do sell a lighting kit on the nautilusdrydocs.com, and this is everything that you're going to come with. It's got your power adapter, all of your wire, your heat shrink circuit boards, all of the LED, the resistors, and of course full instructions. Kind of helps you out a lot. Got all your switches, so this is really a standalone kit that will help you light up your model, but you certainly don't have to buy it. These components by themselves are quite cheap, all the LEDs and resistors and such, so you can actually do it quite economically if you'd like to do it that way. So that's an LED. Like I said, I'm going to do this quite a few more times. We'll have my lighting done. I'm going to install those in the lower part of the salon bezel there, so that I can install my iris next. Alright, moving right along, you can see I've got 6 LEDs all wired up, and what I'm going to do is I am going to install them in the appropriate places in the salon blister here, so that I can mount my iris without having to play with wire routing and such after the fact. So what I'm going to do now in preparation for that, I am going to use a little bit of silver paint, and basically I am going to paint out the reflectors behind each of these lights, so that we get maximum light reflection when the LED is on. These are 5mm LEDs. I've actually found that the 3 work quite well, but I would recommend, at least for the large floodlights, to utilize the 5mm to fill it up. And of course, you can go as large as 10mm, which are certainly out there as well. But what I find for realism is a small bulb probably does look the best. So I'm going to continue painting these out, and I'm going to drill out the holes for the LEDs, mount them, and then go on to the mounting of the iris. Alright, here we go. The lights are installed. You can see them all lit up. I just got it temporarily rigged with battery direct to the leads. This is where the salon iris is going to go, right behind. And the brightness is actually a bit of an optical illusion. The cameras always make them look a lot brighter than they actually are.